Watoto Child Care Ministries started in 1994 after Pastor Gary's interaction with an old widow in Luwero. Moved by God's call to care for the orphans in Uganda, the ministry started taking shape.
It was about 2-3 years later, maybe not even quite that long, that we were hit by HIV/AIDS. We heard that it was what they called slim, because if you got AIDS, you lost your weight, and no antiretrovirals. We found out later that we were one of the highest infection rates in the world, officially 27%, but it was more than that. And people started dying, and we started having funerals on a regular basis, and we also found out that we had the highest number of AIDS orphans in the world. We had a young man who lived in a town called Luwero. He said, "Come up and visit us." He said, "I want you to meet this grandmother." She was 76, her husband had died, she had had 7 children, 6 of her own natural biological children had died. She had 26 of her own grandchildren living with her on that facility. She just began to break down. She said, "I have no one to look after these kids. I'm old, I'm tired, I can't dig anymore. What am I going to do?" And I said to her, "Don't worry about your children. We'll help you with your children." And it was a defining moment for me, because I realized I couldn't pastor a great church and ignore the problems of the people. And it was during that time that God began to very clearly speak to me, and one day said to me, he said, "Gary, I want you to look after my children." He didn't say the children, he said my children. Instantly I knew that it was the orphan, because the orphan, he's the father of the fatherless. And I knew I was to look after kids that have been orphaned as a result of, left parentless as a result of HIV/AIDS. And I argued with God. I said, "I'm not interested. I don't want to look after kids. Kids pee their pants, they flatulate, I want to preach. I want to pastor." And Jesus said to me, he said, "I didn't send you to Uganda to do what you want. I sent you to Uganda to do what I want. Look after my children."
Watoto started very small, taking on the most desperate, giving them a home and the love of Jesus.